Welcome back, Middle Age Grind. And today I want to do an update on dividend income. And I've mentioned this before in our portfolios and where we are in 2024. And as you can see here, this is the dividend payouts between all of our accounts in 2024. So they vary, as you can see there. And so far, July is the biggest payout. And the reason behind that is our largest holding, which is SCHD, which is the Schwab High Dividend Yield Fund, pays out in those months. Now, the reason why, I think July, we got it like July 1st, and in March, it paid out like the last day or something like that. So it must be like a 31st day payout because it's going to be every 3 months. Some of them pay monthly, the funds we have, but this is our dividend income for 2024 so far. And the largest is being in July, $501 in dividends. Okay. So I'm going to move over to this screen here. So averaging right now, $200.68 a month, which obviously that's nowhere near enough to live on at any age. But as I've mentioned before, we're pumping around $3,200 a month into our portfolios. All right. But from March to July, you're looking at a 26.5% increase, which is pretty good. So far this year, $1,404.73 in dividends. Now, this is kind of the breakdown here. SCHD is our largest holding. And I've mentioned this before. The dividend CAGR, that's the compound annual growth rate of the dividend, averaging over 10 years, is 12.59%. That is a huge deal, guys, because what that is, that's saying that whatever dividends you're making in 1 year is increasing by 12%. So if you're making, I mentioned this before, $100,000 in dividends, if that number goes up by 12%, you'll be making 112,000 plus the next year. And it just goes like that. And the average rate of return for SCHD, which is not bad, which is about what the market is 10.84. Now, our second largest holding is in the Fidelity Blue Chip Growth Fund. Okay, it does not pay a dividend. It distributes capital gains twice a year. But that number, that rate of return over 10 years, averaging 17.76%, which I think is pretty cool. It's the year of the birth of our country, which is kind of ironic there, 1776. So this is just kind of what we're looking at here and give you my thought process on this. If we wanted just a pure dividend portfolio, all right, we probably could have that number doubled right now if we took the money out of the Fidelity Blue Chip, the FBGRX, and put it into the SCHD. And I do have a few other funds, which I mentioned before, slight positions, but those are the two main positions we have. The third one being the S&P 500, which does pay a dividend, albeit small. But the goal is, with dividends, okay, notice I never mention about, how much is in our portfolio. And it's not being coy or, being, not sharing. It's because ultimately, to us, the goal is to have income, right? One day, being able to sit back and living off of our dividends, where our dividend income is more than our expenses. To me, that is the definition of being rich or wealthy or financially independent, right? Being 42 years old, my wife's 41, and most of this is in our Roth IRAs, HSA, and we have a separate brokerage account, right? Our goal is to get this dividend income up one day large enough to where it's covering our expenses. So the strategy I have now is Half of that is in a SCHD, which pays a good dividend now. We're compounding that dividend growth. We're building that snowball. And also with a fund like the FBGRX, historically has performed very well from just a appreciation standpoint, right? Down the line, and especially in your retirement portfolios, the goal will be if we build up a large enough position in that fund to transition selling some of those shares and buying these more income producing shares like an SCHD that pays a higher dividend over time. But to me, like having what's the balance of your portfolio? How much you got? It's kind of like, well, what's your house worth? All right. Well, my house is worth whatever, $200,000. We pick a number. It doesn't matter. If you're not selling your house, does it really matter? Okay. And that's kind of how, to me, a portfolio value is. Now, there are the people that believe in the 4% rule, where you build up a big portfolio and start drawing down 4% per year in retirement. And hopefully the returns, kind of grow and you're not outliving your money, which is not a bad strategy. It's utilized a lot. You run into some risk, though. It's called the sequence of returns risk, meaning that in some years, the market might be up 20%, but it might be down 30%. And it might be up 35%, and it might be down 10%. So you're going to have some years where you're withdrawing funds to where your portfolio is down a lot, and it's going to take a bigger hit percentage-wise. So we're having a dividend portfolio where you're just taking the proceeds of those dividends, right? Remember, dividends are paid per share, not per share price. So in theory, as long as the dividends are not cut, which is very rare, okay, that they are, but you have to keep aware of that, your dividend income will continue to go up every year, even though no matter what the market does. So your portfolio might be $1 million, and in the next year it might be 800,000. Market took a 20% dip. However, if you're in good dividend paying ETFs and stocks, as long as that dividend is not being cut, even though your portfolio value went down, your income should continue to go up over the years. And that's what I like about the SCHD fund. Think about the crazy inflation we've had over the past couple of years. Now it's down to about 3%, but it was 9, 8 for, seems like a couple of years. Historically, it's about 3. Historically, it was 1, 2 for years. But if you're in a fund in retirement like SCHD, it has a compound annual growth rate of over 10%. That is beating inflation every year, just about, no matter what the inflation does. So that money you have in retirement, you're not outliving that money. You're not having to sell shares in order to pay expenses. And that's the whole goal. And I'm going to keep up these updates. I'm not going to do it every month. We're still in a portion, like I say. Could I have that amount double to what it is now and making $400 a month off of our total portfolio? Sure. But keep in mind, we're not taking any dividends. We're reinvesting those dividends back into our portfolios to help snowball and compound that growth over time. Right now we're making an average of $200 a month. Even if it was $400 a month, hardly no one can live on that, pay bills, that kind of thing. But remember, we're 42 and 41. What will this look like in our journey 10 years from now, 20, 25 years from now? At 67's my full retirement age. I'm looking to do this at least for 25 years, guys, and building up that balance, so building up those shares, I should say, so where every month that dividend income is going up. Now, keep in mind, like I say on that sheet there, it's a little wonky because some of those dividends are paid quarterly. SCHD is an example. Like JEPI, which I have a small amount, Realty Income, which I'm long at all those. And I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take this as financial advice. It's just our journey. Some of those are paid monthly. So that's why on those 4 times a year, that quarterly payout, those payouts are going to be kind of nice. But over time, everything averages out. So I'll keep doing this. I'll probably do another update on this at the end of the year. Actually, it's funny. I did this video yesterday and I didn't factor in July's, and I figured what's July 25th? I think all the dividends are paid. So I put in July, which is nice because that's a nice month, how it's paid out. But I did the video yesterday, and I don't know how I did this. I did it upside down. So when I went to upload it into my channel, I was upside down. I just thought it was funny. I said, well, I could do it. And maybe some people would laugh at it. But I said, let me just do it the right way. And I'll add July in there. And it's 7 months, out the year. Even though it's not quite the halfway point, it's a little bit more. But I'll do these again. It might not be exciting to some people, guys, but it's exciting to me because a dividend is something, when you talk about passive income, it truly is passive. Real estate's not. People go, oh, buy a rental and the renters pay your mortgage and all of this. Everyone I've talked to said, no, that's not the case. I mean, you're going to have headaches and upkeep and evictions and air conditioning breaking, just like your house. I mean, we have upkeep in our house. But it's our house. We take care of it like we own it because we do. A rental property, it's good for some people. I'm more of a control guy. I don't know if it'd be a good deal for me, for our family, because if someone wouldn't pay rent or tear up something, I think I would lose my mind. And this is just and you can own real estate in this portfolio. Realty Income pays a great dividend, been around a long time. Pays monthly. We own some of that. So I know this one went on a little over 12 minutes today, but I wanted to share that with you guys on this beautiful Friday. And I'll see you next time on the Middle Age Grind.